Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Too many women face the same problem, but very few talk about it, even to their best girlfriends.
And you know, when someone says they laugh so hard they peed their pants a little, well, that's not just a phrase, it's a reality for many women. And it happens when they sneeze, cough, and exercise. And Koveck is here today from InControl Medical to tell us about the only device that helps with female bladder control that's been FDA cleared for sale without a prescription. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I think it's really important that we advocate for women's health issues, especially for something as large as female urinary incontinence. 1 in 3 women do suffer from this, and as you said, many women don't like to bring it up. They don't want to talk about it with their friends, and some, it can take up to 7 years to actually talk to your doctor about it.
Wow.
Yeah. People joke about it a lot, you know, like when they say, you know, oh, I laughed so hard, or oh, you know, things like that, especially after having a child. You know, it's one of the things I think women talk about, but they don't realize that it can be helped. It can be either reversed or worked on or whatnot, and that's really where this device comes in handy.
Absolutely. Women that very often, as you brought up, can have urinary leakage after having a baby. Basically what happens is that during pregnancy, childbirth, it's a lot of weight on our pelvic floor muscles, which are at the base of our pelvis, so those can stretch out. And that's one type of urinary incontinence that people suffer from, and it's called stress urinary incontinence. So it's that laugh, cough, sneeze, exercise can cause us to leak, and basically we need to strengthen those pelvic floor muscles, where many physicians will say, first line treatment, let's go ahead and do Kegel exercises.
Yes.
We've all heard about it, we're all supposed to do them at every stoplight, but what happens is over 50% of women who have been taught how to do a Kegel exercise do them incorrectly. They squeeze their buttocks, their abdominal muscles, everything except the pelvic floor muscle in isolation, and this product can help with that.
And wonderful that it can be used at home. You don't need a doctor to say you have this problem in order to be able to use it. The instructions are easy, it's safe. And you mentioned stress incontinence. There are 3 different types, I know from watching the video about using this. Stress, urge, and then a mix, right? A mix of the 2. Okay, so how are those 2 different?
Okay, the stress urinary incontinence we talked about. It's that increased abdominal pressure causes people to leak, caused by pregnancy, childbirth, high impact exercise, just the aging process. There's also a type of urinary incontinence called urge incontinence, and that's where the detrusor muscle, and that's the muscle that surrounds the bladder, spasms and makes women feel like they constantly have to go to the restroom, or often called key in the door syndrome, where they get all the way home, they get the key in the door, and they didn't quite make it to the restroom. So it's very, very controlling of women's lives, always needing to know where the restroom is, and wearing pads, which is not comfortable for any women. So ApexM offers a cure that is non-pharmaceutical, so we don't have to worry about any side effects of taking any medications.
No drugs.
No drugs, and it can also avoid surgery, so we don't have to worry about any complications. So this truly is a first-line treatment for women with stress, urge, and then finally mixed urinary incontinence, which is symptoms of both stress and urge incontinence.
So you said it can cure it. How does it work? So that if you use this at home, the way that it's described, that it can cure it, it can stop you from having the urge or the stress incontinence?
Correct. Basically, it's a very simple to use device. This is the ApexM. Some people kind of giggle when they look at it. But pelvic floor muscles are located in the pelvis, and best way to get to those muscles is intravaginally. So basically what the device does is it provides muscle stimulation with 2 separate algorithms. Basically, one sends a high frequency signal which actually automatically contracts those pelvic floor muscles.
Is that through that little metal part on top?
Through the metal stimulation contacts.
Okay.
A lot of people say, Ann, what does muscle stimulation feel like? And basically what it does is it's customized for each particular individual, and you will feel an upward and inward pull. And basically what that is the pelvic floor muscles being contracted in isolation, which is key to strengthening pelvic floor muscles. And that way you get that aha moment. This is the way it's supposed to feel, so when you do contractions on your own, you're truly doing them correctly, and you're not cheating, you're not holding your breath, you're not squeezing your legs or your abdominal muscles. It then
so it's almost like a forced Kegel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Done properly, more effectively than we can do on our own. So it really strengthens the muscles of the pelvic floor, which are key to stopping urinary leakage.
So how long is a treatment? How often do you have to do it? And then when do you notice improvement?
Okay. Several questions. Basically, when you get the device, you start to use it 6 days a week. I think of it as a trip to the gym for your pelvic floor because we're actually exercising those muscles. So you get 1 day off. It can be a regular day each week, or you can just, for women, I say, let real life get in the way. I'm just too busy. So you use the product for 10 minutes, and it also inflates, which is another really key feature of the product on the handle. You actually inflate the device, so one device can fit all women. What we're trying to do is get the stimulation contacts firmly against the pelvic floor wall to get a deep muscle stimulation. And then it also sends a second signal, which actually calms that muscle around the bladder, resolving the urge.
Okay.
So women will use it 6 days a week until they see the results. They're dry, they're not working pads, they get their lifestyle back. So at that point then, just like going to the gym, if you quit, you lose the gains you made. So since you own the device, you can continue to use it once or twice a week to maintain those gains.
There's got to be other benefits. I mean, looking at it too, I'm just, I'm going to be honest. I mean, it looks like it could help with sexual help as well.
That's a really good point. Every woman needs to have a healthy pelvic floor because those are the muscles that surround our vagina, important for continence, but also the point that you said, it's great for intimacy because it will feel better for you and it will feel better for your partner. Other added benefit is, once I keep saying, healthy pelvic floor for everyone, holds your pelvic organs in place. People can have problems where your organs start to drop out of places you don't want them to, and this gives us the support and stability that we need over a lifetime.
Yeah, so it's kind of preventative in that respect.
Yeah, and how long will it take before someone would notice improvement using it 6 days a week?
Some people will start to notice within a few weeks those symptoms of stress urinary incontinence. As we start to strengthen those pelvic floor, it'll start decreasing the volume of leakage, and it really depends on the condition of people's pelvic floor health in the beginning. So you'll start to see improvement within a few weeks, and you just continue to use it until you see the results that you need.
I kind of feel like I'm going to order it and send it to a couple of my friends.
They will love you for it.
I know, I think they will. Right now you've got this great special for Incontinence Medical, the device as well, which is ApexM, $30 off if you purchase by the end of April. You can go to the website, InControlMedical.com. Again, sent right to you. You can use it in the privacy of your own home to help resolve these issues and truly cure them as well. 262-373-0422 to order. $30 off. Mention the Morning Blend. There you go. Thanks,
Wonderful
Ann.
to meet you.
Thank you very much
Thank
for having
you.
me.
Appreciate it.